Welcome back to Expediting Change live at the Congressional Black Caucus, CBCF. I'm sitting here right now with my guy, with my co-host, with my guy that goes way back with me. Listen, I asked him how was he going to introduce himself, and then I just start saying stuff. So let me allow my guy to introduce himself, man. What's up?
So we're gonna do that right from the beginning.
All from the beginning,
right
bro.
from the beginning.
But you did set me up early
I
on
did.
one of the podcasts. The last one had Cruz. Shout out to Cruz.
Yep.
In
Cruz.
his studio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So listen, you can treat me as a hostile guest.
Oh,
Right
Lord,
from the
hostile out the
Listen,
gate.
I'm not trying to be traditional.
Okay.
Right? You got all these people in here trying to be formal to
Ah.
Mr. James.
Uh-oh.
So let's just get right to
He
it.
said he throwing shots, not
Oh.
out of a corner. He firing.
Oh yeah, why not?
But you
Why not?
firing, you didn't even say who you were.
I know I didn't. I was gonna make you introduce him.
Okay, Sam Hill.
Yes, sir.
The Sam Hill.
From Buffalo, New York.
From where?
Buffalo.
We got a game.
716.
716,
Yeah, we're about to
baby.
smack some Dolphins tonight.
Oh, beat him up. We're
Oh,
Antoine because he out here somewhere while we live. We need to bring him in here so we could toast the tuna.
Oh yeah.
So
Toast
where you
the
want to
tuna.
start, man? We got so much to talk about.
Oh yeah,
man.
definitely.
So much to talk
first
about.
off, thank you.
Oh, no doubt, man.
So
It's all
thank
love,
you
man.
for inviting me here
For
to
sure.
DC. Being here at the CBC it's amazing.
For sure.
So I appreciate the
For sure.
opportunity.
For sure.
All right, we got that out the way.
No doubt. I said that's it.
That's it.
But how you like CBC? And this your first CBC?
This is my first time, and I really appreciate it.
For sure.
This is the energy here, seeing all of the culture here, all of the black people, all here positive, and it's just the networking here is amazing.
The networking.
So I really appreciate
the
that.
networking is
Shamari.
crazy.
Yeah.
So
I
you're gonna
really
come up
do
with the
that.
bag,
What's that?
and then come up with the bag, and then how do we split it?
See, I
If
don't
I
know.
introduce you, then I gotta get a piece of it or something.
Oh, here we go. Yeah,
Like a little bit,
That's
right?
that's the Mario I'm looking for. There it is, people. That's the
See?
one.
See?
That's the guy I was looking for.
All these been professional, financial education, and this man got me putting my front gold teeth in them. I
Yeah,
only
there
got
we
the
go.
bottoms on, man.
There we go.
Only
There
got
it
the
is.
bottoms
That's
on.
what I want.
So
That's the Mario I want.
let's talk FinEd though, because we're gonna
Okay.
interview somebody coming up next.
Okay.
But let me ask you a question because, as I know, you're an entrepreneur. You have an entrepreneurial spirit, had your own company, and you incorporate. So, what does entrepreneur mean to you?
Yeah. No, seriously. So what it means to me is being able to go after your own dreams, your own aspirations,
Yeah.
and building an economic model that fits you, your lifestyle, and being able to live out your values,
For sure.
right, through a particular vehicle.
Mm.
And so I guess do somewhat of a formal introduction. So I am Sam Hill, and I am the president of Success in Me.
For sure.
And so we are a boutique consulting organization where we're focusing in 3 different spaces.
No doubt.
Right. So we have we build curriculum.
Yep.
We also do live success events.
Mhm.
And actually this year will be new for us, but we're going to have a regional pitch competition.
Yeah.
So from Buffalo to the Maryland area,
Yep.
that is something that we're going to champion this year.
Let's deep dive into something that you said, and then come back to that. You said something real key already, Sam.
Well, you know, that's
You
why
said-
you have me here.
You said that's why you're on the show.
That's why you have me here, right?
No doubt.
Okay.
To kill it, to only kill
Hey.
it. But you said entrepreneurship that fits you. So with the rigors of entrepreneurship, and if you work in 9 to 5 and then have your 5 to 9, how do you maintain your identity, yourself, and your image while you're branding a whole business
And being a family man.
and being a family man?
Right, right.
Absolutely.
And so it is hard work, but you have to be yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And so with Success in Me, we talked about our core values.
Okay.
We have to like the people we work with.
Mm.
Right. So if we're a business to business organization,
Mhm.
so if we don't like the business that is pitching to us, we're
It's a
not
wrap.
going to work
Absolutely.
with you.
Back
Right.
to all money and good money.
Exactly.
Mm.
Right. We also are focused on bringing value,
Yeah.
right, to our key stakeholder.
Okay.
Our key stakeholder is really 6 to 12
Okay.
underserved market. And
Yeah.
so as if a partner shows up
Yep.
and they don't have the same values and they're not looking to serve
It's a wrap.
our stakeholders, no thank you.
So from a business proposition, a value proposition, ethics and morals, etc., But how do I do that if I'm struggling for money? Like, I just started my business. Most businesses fail within the first 5 years. If you add Black, African American, BIPOC to that, it's even sooner.
Yeah.
So how do you juggle that? Because sometimes I want to go get this contract. If I got 5 values and you line up to 3 of them, those other 2, am I forgetting about them?
Yeah, that's a very hard. That's, you know what, that is a personal choice.
Yeah.
For me, I've been able to look at success in me as a passion project, right? Because I have a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I'm an executive in the senior living space.
Yeah.
And so I've been able to walk that line.
No doubt.
And I've been able to say hard no's and
Yeah.
be able to go look for vendors that fit our values. And so it's one of those things where for my situation, I do have some flex because you know, I have a 9 to 5. But what I would tell other entrepreneurs is that in their intuition, their gut, they know who to work with and who to stay away from. They know that. And so to your point, all money is not good money, and they just have to make that decision, knowing that the foundation you create your organization, those are the seeds of where your organization will end up.
So is that the toughest decision making that you personally have to make, or that you make in your business, or is there something that you search that's something that's even more tough than that?
For me, the value piece is not difficult at all.
Okay.
So I'll just walk away and say no.
It is what it is.
Period.
It is what it is.
So I think for me, it is the time management and it is the competing priorities.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, family's first.
No doubt.
Right. And then my obligations to my current employer is second.
For sure.
But then at the same time, pouring into success in me and working with these underserved youth is a passion of mine. So I have to carve out the time to deliver and work with them. But at the same time, if I start having partnerships, I also have to execute on whatever that promise may be.
Yeah, I could. The passion resonates and is popping off of the camera through the camera. So
is
you're
really?
in absolutely like when you get to talking about it.
So we're doing all right.
You go.
Okay.
Which is love, because everybody don't have the opportunity to be able to do passion projects that also makes them money. That's also tied to the uplifting of the community. Have you taken a moment to actually recognize that? Because oftentimes we just stay grinding. We don't step back to see the things that we built.
Yeah, so I have, and it's one of those things. Is just through maturity and learning to get quiet with myself and learning to take time for myself for reflection. I have been able to kind of think about that a lot. I do believe in gratitude. I do believe in going for long walks, getting quiet. So yes.
Okay.
You know, I have thought about that a lot.
And what does success look like to you? What does success equal for you? Not success in me, but what does entrepreneurial success look like for you personally?
Wow. That's another. Oh, okay, we getting to it, huh?
We're getting to it, baby.
Wow.
We're on expedited change.
Okay. No, that's another great question. I just want to, for me, I'm on a trajectory. I'm on a mission. My corporate hat. We're doing some amazing work, so I need to see that through. But at the same time, I'm in this startup mode, serving the youth.
No doubt.
And so there is a passion. There's passion there. So really, I'm running things parallel. And if there's a point where I have to make a decision, we'll work through that. But Mari, I'm just in a happy place right now, and just looking to bring people along and continue to pour into people.
Absolutely.
My history. And where I come from out of Buffalo, you know, my start was a housekeeper. I was a housekeeper at a local hospital.
I don't think I ever knew that, right?
Yeah,
that's crazy. I never know that.
You remember me at Kentucky Fried Chicken? I was at Kentucky Fried Chicken, and then from there I was a part-time housekeeper. And with that organization, I was with them for over 25 years, becoming a district manager, leading large teams, and then also doing a lot of traveling coast to coast. So success is just continued growth, continue building, and stepping out on faith and facing fears that's what it's all about.
So you said family first. Totally respect that. Totally respect that. How do you balance? What conversations do you have when you come home and you say, "Boo, I got another business idea"? Because I know what happens in my household.
Yeah, you trying to get me in trouble.
Wifey oh,
All
absolutely,
right. So
bro. You said
what camera I gotta look at? To my wife. Where's my wife? Hey, boo. You know, we just had 20 years. Love you. So I guess I'm gonna have to give them the secret sauce. It's a partnership, man.
absolutely,
Right? So the same, I don't want to say I'm the same Sam from over 20 years ago,
no doubt.
but the values are still the same. And my family knows I'm where I need to be when I need to be there,
Yeah.
period, no matter what.
Partnership is dope because I think individuals don't necessarily understand what a partnership means as
Yeah.
far as having a family
Yeah.
who is part of the business, well, not part of the business per se, but part of your life.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean you're in the business day to day, but how do we collectively do that together? And I was actually, I don't know where I was, and it's probably good I don't remember because you know I'm wild and I'll slip up and say their name, but I was hearing the individuals speak and they say, yeah, you know, I come into the room, et cetera, and then my family walks behind me.
What?
And not a knock to any one person who might say that, you know what I mean? But I always say that most of the time my family is walking in front of me.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Because there is a big family that makes all of this happen.
Yeah.
And then in some instances, they're walking beside me. And the only time they're behind me is when they're pushing me out front. So to hear you say that about partnership is really key. And I think when you start talking about a rising tide raises all ships, I think oftentimes individuals don't understand, respect, want to have the patience for what their role is at the time. What their role is at the time. We obviously had our history. We're understanding what the role is at the time.
Right.
And I learned some very good lessons, but it's not innate.
Right.
And I know your business persona, you're much more laid back and like to analyze. How does that happen for you? Like, were you born like that? Was it schooling? Was it experience, good, bad, or indifferent? But how are you able to just sit and see the landscape and then let things play out and then come into it from your frame of reference?
Yeah, so I think a lot of that is just, oh, you came to work. My man.
You already know.
Yeah, we working today. So for
We're gonna
me,
learn about Sam today.
Yeah. So for me, I think it's just over time. So being in management and supervising and leading positions for over 20 years, you see everything. People are complicated.
No doubt.
I've dealt with
People
scenarios. Actually, I need to write a book. I've dealt with scenarios and situations that you can't imagine.
Yeah.
So you learn to flex. You learn to try to gain the other person's perspective, so that then you can handle it the right way. But before I lose my thought, when we were talking about family, you also have to recognize and realize that your passion is not their passion.
Ooh, good point.
Right? So just because I come home and I was with Shamari and we on the podcast and I'm all excited and babe, we gotta go there, we gotta go do this, we gotta go do that, we gotta go start this. That's not her.
No doubt.
That's not her passion.
Absolutely.
That's not her thing.
Absolutely.
And so she will support me.
Absolutely.
And she'll even calm me down and like, okay, Sam.
Yeah.
You know, let's prioritize.
Yeah.
You know, we got to go do X, Y, and Z, right? But at the same time, I got to give her the same energy because she has her own dreams and her own passion.
Absolutely.
And I need to be there for her.
Partnership.
And so it goes back to partnership.
Absolutely.
It goes back to partnership. But Mari, you're asking me like, how do I do what I do? I think it is a combination of, my father would say, paid knowledge, right?
No doubt.
So going to school, understanding frameworks, understanding change management methodologies. But then again, it's just life experience.
For sure.
I'm not perfect, right? So I know I've bumped my head multiple times.
No doubt.
But as long as I don't make the same mistake over and over, that's growth.
What do you think has been your biggest learning lesson? Because you said you managed a whole lot of different people. Your biggest learning lesson from managing people that you then take into your business, your entrepreneurship. Putting him on the spot today.
You are. So I think at the end of the day, there has to be a clear vision,
Okay.
right?
Without vision, the people will perish.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
So without a clear vision, you can't lead people to the end result, the goal.
For sure.
And so as I work on Success in Me and bring on different partners, being able to articulate where we're going or what we're trying to do with the youth,
yeah,
is critical.
So let's talk about that. Let's dive into Success in Me. So what are you trying to do with the youth?
I'm trying to sow seeds. I'm trying to educate the youth around success skills. These success skills are needed in the corporate space.
Yep.
They're also needed just at home in your personal life.
Absolutely.
There's a survey out there where almost 80% of all CEOs share that soft skills are needed.
Yeah.
But then when these college grads are leaving school to enter the corporate space,
Yep.
60% don't even have the skills, right? So we need to teach them these soft skills. We need to teach them executive presence, communication, time management, leadership, communication, active listening. I feel like I was about to start rapping.
I actually did. One of my guys, I'll shout him out. He actually started rapping on one of the podcasts.
I'm not that skilled, I'm not that good, though.
He came right at it. I didn't even know what to do. I was like, I just started, you know what I mean? I just started going with it.
Yeah.
That's key because state testing, standardized testing, is not soft skills.
Right.
Totally antithetical. So if you're getting these soft skills, how are you convincing not only children and families, but also these districts and these administrators and the individuals who are actually holding the purse for contracts that these students, that these scholars actually need and can benefit from these skills?
Yeah. So you're asking me to give the secret sauce on how to get some of these contracts? No, is that what you're asking me?
Absolutely not.
Are you asking me my secret sauce, Mari?
No.
Okay.
And we would record that. But I am asking, how do you convince them that it's necessary?
Yeah. See, again, you just meet people where they're at,
no
right?
Doubt.
And you show up, again, with the organizational values. So how I show up is also how I deliver on my promises to the administrators,
Absolutely.
right? But also you need to do your homework and understand what is it that they're looking for.
Yep.
What do they need delivered to their student population?
Yep.
And so because of our size and that we're very nimble and we have different resources at our disposal, we're able to craft a solution that works for everyone.
No doubt.
And so being able to take the time to meet with the administrators are key.
So that meet with the administrators is a great unplanned segue. A lot of people want the end result. They want the success. They want the nice suit. They want to be on the podcast. They want to talk. But talk about the hustle and the grind and the homework that you have to do before you even get to being able to meet with some of these administrators.
Yeah.
Before you even are able to make that phone call or go through that door or have that meeting. Because you don't just pop out one day and all of a sudden a district is paying for a contract. Right. So what is that homework? What does that preparation process look like?
Right. That's a great question. And I'm gonna talk to the audience. It's hard work. Period. Oh, that one. I'm sorry. Okay, I got you.
We live.
Live. Oh, I got to be careful. It's hard work. It's not a hope and a prayer. It's not a wish. It's hard work. And so it is putting in the time, doing the research, having the right team around you to bring it to life. That's what it boils down to. And so one of the success skills that everyone needs is how to build a network and how to cultivate relationships.
No doubt.
Because without that, it doesn't happen.
No
I'm
doubt.
not here if I did not build a relationship with you.
No doubt.
And your team.
No doubt.
I would not be here if I did not execute on the promises that I've made to you and your team.
No doubt.
I would not be here if I did not have the resume and I have not executed on all the different things that I promised organizations, whether corporately or through Success in Me. I would not be here.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, people want to work with people that get the job done and is going to put the hard work in.
Absolutely.
This isn't lip service.
Absolutely.
So so that's my I feel like Forrest Gump. That's what I'm gonna just say about that.
No doubt. So
Yeah.
it's not just who you know, but it's also what you know.
Yes, sir.
Because you got to have a resume. My dad used to say to me all the time, who you know will get you through the door and likely get you a seat, but what you know will keep you in that seat.
Yeah.
Because if you got a plug and they get you in, but you in there and you're a piece of shit and you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, it will get you out and it can actually work 10 times negative because now you just burned a bridge from who recommended you to get there. So I absolutely love that point. It's one of the things my dad used to say. Why the name Success in Me? So I hear you, which is great branding. Success in Me and Success Skills. I love it. I picked up on that. I'm a little smart expediting change a little bit. How'd you come up with the name Success in Me?
I truly believe it's because I've had some success to date.
Yep.
And we need to pass that along to the youth.
Yeah.
I need to be able to pass that back to the community that I grew up in and I'm looking to serve. So it's just making it more the collective. And so that's where the me came in. So it's success in us, but really thinking about once you give them those skills, it's about them, the individual.
I think that's a good teaching lesson too for them, for them to actually understand that there needs to be a little bit of selfishness to be able to get to your goal.
Correct.
Without forgetting about your tribe and making sure that you understand a rising tide raises all ships. You said 6 through 12 though. So, we have a K-8 and we stopped at K-8, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. I did it right. Okay, I had to count on my fingers. I do have a degree in engineering sometimes. That's a tough grade.
Yeah.
Those are tough grades.
Yeah.
Tell me about your experience working with these high schoolers.
Yeah. So the beautiful thing is I'll tell a story. We were working on a curriculum and I got to be careful how I say this, but we were working on a curriculum and I was recording.
Yeah.
And so I came out with a certain line and I had my son there watching.
Yeah.
He said, "Dad, no, that's cringy. You can't say those things." Ooh, right?
Yeah.
And so my point is, you're right. It's a tough crowd, but you also need to test your work.
Absolutely.
Right. And so having my own children there with me to confirm or to deny what I'm doing to make sure that it hit and resonates is key. But at the end of the day, when we're doing our live events, it's all about engagement.
No doubt.
Right. So how do we meet them where they are?
For sure.
And so we've had some success when we've been able to bring in local talent.
Yeah.
So having a DJ in the room, being able to have community leaders there to speak into their lives. And these leaders actually have done it.
Yeah.
They've been there.
Yeah.
And so being able to turn on the mic and allow the students to ask questions.
Yeah.
And there are no stupid questions.
No doubt.
And we, again, meet them where they are and make sure they understand what we're delivering.
That's dope.
And then when possible, we also try to make it a celebration.
No doubt.
And so there's reward, recognition, and prizes.
So
and makes have fun.
They can ask questions with live mics in high school?
In high school.
Woo!
In high school. In high school.
That's daring.
In high school.
That's daring.
But you know what? People sometimes don't realize how sharp and educated the youth is, right?
And that's why I say it, because they are sharp in many different ways, because they will come for you too.
Oh yeah.
They will
They will call your bluff.
They will call it in a heartbeat. You got about 30 seconds to show that you for real about what you're talking about. Yes. And live mic, they will come for you.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm not having no high schoolers on expediting change.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I will. Maybe we'll have a couple. We'll bring
but it goes back to our earlier point about your values. You just have to be yourself.
No doubt.
Right? So don't put on any false airs. Don't show up as someone that you're not.
Sure.
Because they're going to see right through that.
Absolutely.
And so, being the leaders that I bring on stage with me are authentic.
For sure.
They know their stuff, and it resonates and works with the kids.
Well, you took the word right out of my mouth. Resonate. So you have to have, and that also is for adults, right?
Yeah.
Because you can feel the energy. I say, and I believe I've never had a bad podcast, knock on wood, because the energy, collective energy just resonates. We resonate with one another. I often see some of these interviews and they just look weird and they just look staged. And it looks like you just force the individual to just get up there and talk. I completely digress, but resonate brought me to that because the kids will call you out if they don't resonate with you at all whatsoever. Right. So I had the opportunity to come to one of your events, and I'm going to say it before you say it because you said you're being hostile on the podcast. Yes, expediting change. The event was amazing. I did not know these scholars at all. I never met none of them, but I was so overwhelmed by the work that they did. He trying to say he's doing it before I say it. I definitely teared up. It was so powerful because when you look at media, mass media, and news media, all they project is all of these bad things about our scholars. And to be in that room with the power of, what was it, 900 to 1,000 students?
I wish it wasn't that large, but we had some numbers.
It was 6, 7, 8. It felt like 1,000, so that's even better.
Yeah,
because it felt like 1,000. And for them to be, I mean, they were rocking out. They were chanting. They were engaged in the games. Y'all literally stopped and they kept chanting and flowing. And I was like, yeah, I literally got goosebumps. But and how long has the company been in existence?
Yeah, so we started just a few years ago.
So a few years ago, you're able to create this momentum because the other thing about it is they don't necessarily know you in 2 years.
Right.
So you were able to create this amazing positive energy with this crowd in less than 2 years. And in that less than 2 years, some of them didn't necessarily know you on stage.
Yeah.
Like, how were you able to cultivate that so quickly?
Wow. So we started in time flies. So we started in 22.
Okay.
And from there in 22, our first event was a pitch competition.
Okay.
Where we also had a panel of great leaders. Shout out to Cruise Control Media. They were in the house.
Shouts.
And
he really the man. I'm not the man. He the man.
Yeah.
He
behind the man behind the camera.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
We could riff on that for about 15.
We could finish out the time on that.
But we had some amazing leaders on the panel, and then the students then pitched. And then from there, we built out our first curriculum around entrepreneurism.
Yeah.
Then after that, we did the formal success events.
Yep.
And again, I don't want to say there's a secret sauce, but I've just been able to bring partners along with us that are looking to pour into these students.
For sure.
And because of that, and because of their background, it just works.
No doubt.
It just works.
No doubt.
But there is planning. We think about our transitions. We think about the different activities to make it work. My business partner is amazing.
Okay.
He has a skill set that I wish that I don't have.
Solid.
That
solid.
he has an ability to just. I lost the word.
Describe it.
I don't.
You want me to say at the success event?
Please.
He just started beatboxing and rapping out the gate.
He's just amazing.
Start rapping.
Yeah.
And then had the kids rapping with him.
It was
like
amazing.
right on. I didn't even know he could rap. I'm like, really? Phil, you rap too? No, wait a minute.
Right. So shout out to my partner, Phil Davis. He's just an amazing partner, but he loves the kids. He pours into them himself. And he also is part of the whole secret sauce.
For sure.
He brings it every time.
What does expansion look like for you?
Oh boy, expansion. I just want to touch as many organizations as possible and serve as many of the youth as possible. I think we have a great opportunity with this Shark Tank style pitch competition where we'll be able to go over different state lines and where more and more organizations will learn about Success in Me. And then we'll be able to provide them with the content that they're looking for and they can deliver within their organizations. You know, I think that maybe to be honest, Mari, this is my first podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, again,
No, podcast in front of the camera? No, bro.
like my first podcast where it's about success in me,
Okay.
or I'm sharing
Okay.
really about Sam Hill.
Okay.
Right. Usually I may interview someone or I'll support an organization, but I'm in front of the camera or I'm hosting.
Yeah.
But
You're being humble. Like interview DJ Khaled. Like you do like interviews, bro. So that's why I'm like, hold on, where's Sam going with this? You do You do your thing. I'm giving you flowers while you're alive.
I
bro.
appreciate
Give your flowers while you're alive.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I want to go back to something because you've said the word partners a bunch of different times.
Yeah.
And you talked about all money is not good money.
Yeah.
So for the phenomenal work that I co-sign that Success in Me is doing, and someone who's listening that is interested in partnering with you, what type of partnerships are you looking for? And if you're not looking for any necessarily, if someone was interested in partnering with you and Success in Me, what are those values, morals, or what are you looking for that would help Success in Me?
Yeah. So we're always looking for a partner that would come alongside of us to help us with our branding efforts, but also help us expand into different markets that would benefit from Success in Me. We're always willing to work with other entrepreneurs that are looking to get their message out in a particular soft skill, as long as they pass the vetting process,
no doubt,
right?
No doubt.
And actually have some true history and knowledge in that space.
Yeah.
We are always looking for organizations that will pour into our nonprofit, so that we can then pour into the youth,
no doubt,
and the groups that we're serving. And again, we're just looking for like-minded people and organizations that get it.
No doubt. You mentioned partnerships, not necessarily needing the partnerships, but you'd be willing to do and open to the partnerships. So whether from a partnership perspective or from just wherever you would like, because you've traveled a bit, like ideally either, or you can answer both questions, but who would be like a perfect partner that you want to pair with, celebrity, not celebrity, whatever. And a question is, what's like a must-have city, town, state, country that you just like,
trying to get me in trouble.
I want to do an event.
You're trying to get me in trouble.
Well, with who? With Phil? With wifey?
No, all of the above. Okay. That's what you're trying. He's baiting me. You're trying to set me up. So, it would be great to partner with a clothing line.
Okay.
So if you know any clothing lines that you think that I could partner with, that would be amazing.
I do know this guy named Shamari Etage.
Okay.
I do know this guy named Pierre.
Okay.
So I think I can chop it up.
So I think there could be some value there.
For sure.
I would like to get into the DMV.
Okay.
I think there's some amazing things happening in DMV, but even in the Pittsburgh market.
Yeah.
We just went to a conference in Pittsburgh, and I met some amazing people doing some great work.
Yeah.
Loving on the underserved community.
Yep.
Organization, they're branched out and they're expanding themselves.
For sure.
So it would be great to work with them also.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's dope.
But I see you. I'm not calling out names, but I see what you're doing. But
gotta put you on the spot.
I know.
Just a little bit.
I know.
Just a tiny bit.
I hear you, brother. But yeah, I think
moving away from like the quantifiable pieces to it, right? Like how do you feel about all of it? The speed of it, the speed of success that you've had, you know what I mean? Like working with the youth.
Yeah.
Like literally I was for real that emotional, y'all. That's no cap. That's not for ratings. Like I was really that emotional. Like they do some amazing work.
Yeah.
So how do you feel?
So our first pitch competition, there was a young lady, and they were working through our curriculum, and I pulled up on them. They didn't know I was going to show up.
Yeah.
And so I walk into the classroom, and then they started whispering, because then they realized it was the guy from the curriculum. And I started working with this one young lady, and Mari, she couldn't look at me eye to eye. She would always had her head down. There was no eye contact whatsoever. And however, she was working on her pitch. She was working on her business.
Now, how old is she and what grade?
Yep, she would have been a junior or a senior.
Okay.
She would have been a junior or a senior.
Okay.
Within months, we literally had her on stage, and she pitched her business.
Love.
Now, she didn't win.
No doubt.
Now, that would have been an amazing story.
Or she did win.
But she did, because she learned some amazing life skills, success skills.
That's right.
Public speaking.
Absolutely.
Right? Confidence, leadership, being able to work through the business plan. And so seeing her on stage just has done something for me. So how I feel, I'm energized by it, but there's also a little bit of fear. It's kind of, we'll keep it 100.
No doubt.
What have I started? What is this? Like right now, how am I here at CBC with you right now?
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
Like, how has that happened?
For sure.
And so at times there is some fear.
No doubt.
But I know there is a higher purpose, a higher calling, and I know that there's work for me to do. And so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And it goes back to my partner, my wife. My wife has co-signed it, and she said, "Go get them." So we're going to go get them.
I love that. I love that. How does that? Well, you have the fear, but you overcome the fear based off what you get from the individuals, the scholars, and then that drives you to do what? Like go back into the lab for the next event, reach out to partners. Like what does that non-quantifiable good feeling turn into for productivity and outcomes?
And
you're so some good questions on expedited change.
Yeah, those are really good questions. But what's interesting is I think that's the type of person I am anyway. So there's an energy that I get whenever there's a new venture. There's an energy or a feeling that I get whenever I have an amazing interaction with an individual, whether it's the youth or a peer or a potential partner. And so that in itself forces me to act. And so it's one of those things, and I'll quote my wife, action. You need action, right? So it forces me to send out the email. It forces me to make the phone call. It forces me to go back into the lab to brainstorm on curriculum, to think about what does the youth need today and how can we deliver it where it's still engaging, right? So, as we think about what this could look like, is there other platforms and mediums that we can use to teach and educate these soft skills to our youth? And that's kind of like my engine.
No doubt. So you're doing a lot, but you don't get to escape the question just because you've been on the podcast before. What are you doing today to expedite change for the positive progression of the culture?
So today, I'm executing on my passion project.
Love it.
I'm executing on building success in me, where we are focused on the underserved youth population, period, hands down, where we are planting seeds, building relationships, and pushing the youth forward to give them the skills needed to be successful at home, but also in the corporate space. And if that doesn't work for them, then even to build future leaders to be entrepreneurs.
No doubt.
And so that's what I'm doing.
I respect that, because that seeding that entrepreneurial spirit is absolutely huge. I thank you for the work that you're doing, my guy.
Appreciate you.
Killing it. One day I'm gonna grow up and be like you.
Oh, there you go.
One of these days. My man Sam Hill came and put it down for success in me. A lot of different things that I could pull out of this, but what really, really, really struck me that a lot of individuals don't necessarily admit, that he readily admit, I have my fear and I have my fears. But those fears don't stop me. They don't leave me in a position where I get stuck, stop, and I'm in a rut. I recognize those fears and then I overcome them. And I ask him a question about his emotions, and then how does that feeling of the emotion, whether good, bad, or indifferent, then translate into productivity? That fear is not an outskirt of a formula inside of that productivity. It is the fear, it is the happiness, it is the sadness, it is all of it together that winds you out to then get up and go out and be active. And the second thing that he said that so perfectly goes along with that is his bias for action. So I have these fears, I have these emotions that I turn into productivity, but the only way I can turn them into being productive is if I have a bias for action. He said, wifey gave him that. Also, make sure you got people around you that are pushing and elevating you, that are not going to just be bobbleheads and tell you that you're always doing a good job, but that can bring you down to earth respectfully and make sure that iron sharpens iron and you're being your absolute best. This is Expediting Change at Congressional Black Caucus, CBCF live. We in here, we rocking. We got Kim behind us. Shout out to all of the fam who actually make this work, because I just get up here and I just talk and ask questions to my guests, but it does not happen without my family. Much love. I appreciate y'all. Follow us on YouTube, Expediting Change.
All right. Thank you.
Woo!